Hello, Easy Enough English members. This is going to be the 9th video in the test preparation video series for the TOEFL. Now remember, all of this material is being taken from the Princeton Review Cracking the TOEFL IBT Study Guide book. Okay? So remember, we are still talking about the poisonous metal mercury. Okay, and this is the 9th question from the study guide. Okay, so let's read it. According to paragraph 8, the interconnectivity of the Earth's ecosystem is also A, the reason the ecosystems are susceptible to pollution, B, the cause of mercury pollution, C, the reason methyl mercury is harmful, or D, the cure for pollution from coal-fired power plants. Now, this question is asking us about paragraph 8. So we need to read paragraph 8. Are you ready? One of the great wonders of the earth is the interconnectivity of all the world's ecosystems. Remember, an ecosystem is a group of animals living together in one place. This interconnectivity gives us the range and diversity. Diversity means many kinds of wildlife, animals, that we all enjoy, and it has also allowed life on the planet to endure or survive, to stay alive through cataclysmic or very serious events such as asteroid impacts and the ice ages. However, it is this very interconnectivity that makes our ecosystem so vulnerable or able to get hurt. If you're vulnerable, you have the ability to get hurt. It's very possible for you to be hurt. Okay. Mercury pollution is unfortunately one of the many examples of an environmental impact far removed from the source of the pollution. So what that means is the presence or the existence of mercury in the ecosystem, in the environment, is finding where it comes from and the source is not the only problem. There's a much bigger problem with mercury poisoning. Understanding the process by which the pollution spreads up the food chain is one of many steps to ameliorate the impact of such pollution. So what that's saying is, it's not just important to know where the poison is coming from, but we have to know how to manage it, how to deal with it as it moves up through the food chain. Remember, the food chain was something like this, okay? Last time I had a person, okay? And the person may eat 3 different things: chicken, cow, and fish. Now, each of those things eats something as well. Chickens eat insects and seeds. Cows eat grass. And fish, depending on what kind of fish you're talking about, okay, big fish like tuna eat phytoplankton. Okay, now remember, phytoplankton was the little, very small fish that eats the inorganic and organic, or living and unliving things on the bottom of the ocean. And that's where the mercury is. So if the phytoplankton eat that, and then a bigger fish eats the phytoplankton, right? And then we eat the fish. So, and this has mercury in it, okay? The mercury is here in the phytoplankton. Okay, so once the phytoplankton are eaten by bigger fish, and those fish are eaten by us, the mercury moves from here and then to here. This is how mercury moves up the food chain. So that's what that paragraph is saying. It's also very important to understand how fast and how mercury moves up the food chain. So this question is asking us about the interconnectivity. Now that's a big word, but interconnectivity just means how things are related. Okay, so what's the interconnectivity between humans, chickens, and I'll put a square here, cows, and fish? What is the interconnectivity? Well, we eat all three of those things, right? Those things feed us. We eat them. We have a relationship, or they're interconnected. If there were no more cows, then we could not eat hamburgers, okay? If there was no more chicken, we couldn't eat pie or chicken steak. So if something is taken, it will affect one of the parts. If we don't have these things, then we can't eat that. So they're interconnected, okay? So the interconnectivity of the Earth's ecosystem is also what? Which one of these things? Now, if we said that paragraph is talking about how important it is to know, to understand how mercury moves up the food chain, then that tells us, this is asking us about Earth's ecosystem. This is one ecosystem, right? The human ecosystem, where humans live, that's our ecosystem, okay? But let's just use the ocean as an ecosystem, okay? Now, as the big fish eat the phytoplankton and other fish eat those bigger fish, the mercury moves up the food chain, okay? So that's how mercury spreads throughout the food chain or the ecosystem. A food chain is a smaller part of the ecosystem, okay? There are many animals in the ecosystem, and each animal has a food chain, okay? So this is just the human food chain. There are many animals in an ecosystem, okay? Each has a food chain. Each fits into each other's food chain, okay? Somehow. So the answer to this is A. The reason the ecosystems are susceptible to pollution, because mercury spreads very quickly throughout the food chain. That's why the ecosystems, or the bigger parts where the animals live, are susceptible or in danger of pollution, because that pollution, that mercury, can move very fast and infect or contaminate many animals in one ecosystem, because just the very smallest part of the food chain is being eaten, and whatever eats that is infected or contaminated with mercury, or gets mercury in its body, okay? So that's the interconnectivity. That's what paragraph 8 is talking about, okay? That the reason the ecosystems are in danger of pollution is because they're very connected, very tightly, okay? Just like we saw this. Each of these is connected to the human, okay? That's interconnectivity. B is not the answer, because it's not the cause, the interconnectivity is not the cause of mercury pollution, okay? The cause of mercury pollution is, remember, the coal-fired power plants, not because of the interconnectivity of the ecosystem. So that's wrong. C says the reason methylmercury is harmful. That's not true. The reason methylmercury is harmful is because it, remember the word, it concentrated. It is concentrated, which means it's made very strong. Okay? because the bacteria that eats the mercury creates methylmercury, which is stronger than just regular mercury. Okay, so the interconnectivity is not why methylmercury is harmful. And remember, we talked about all of these in the last 7 or 8 videos. Okay, and finally, D, the cure for pollution from coal-fired plants. So that means because the environment is interconnected, then that is the cure for the pollution. That means that the pollution will go away, okay, because the environment and the ecosystems are interconnected. It's actually the opposite. That's why the mercury pollution is so dangerous, because it can move through the ecosystem very quickly, okay? It's not the cure for pollution. The cure for pollution, remember, would be to stop manufacturing or stop factories that make things that make the mercury. That would be the cure, okay? But we can't do that because we need those things. So remember, the Clean Air Act and things like that help us to decrease or bring down the level of mercury. So anyway, this is not the answer. Okay. So A is the correct answer. Okay, guys, that's the video. I hope you liked the video. If you do, leave a comment in the comments section. Okay. Or if you would like to contact me with any information on tutoring, okay, you can reach me at easyenoughhenglish@gmail.com. I'll write that for you. Easy enough English at gmail.com. Or you can message me in Facebook Messenger. Chinese is okay. Well, guys, I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.